In today's episode, I talk with the leader of a multi-million-dollar snow and landscape company who also runs a really successful podcast, a nonprofit, and is a bee farmer. Check it out to get inspired about our conversation about fitness and how business creates opportunity for other people.
And as I think of snow contractors or landscapers, it's easier to look at your competition and say, man, they've got everything, but they're at a different place in business.
I don't know, in some ways it is helpful to see somebody else that is performing better than you, but also not getting too hung up on comparing yourself to them. All right, everyone, we're here in Pittsburgh. I'm at the Ramblin' Jackson booth at the SIMA Symposium with Dave Wescott, who runs Transblue.
Yes, sir.
And he also runs a different business, but before that, what is Transblue, just for people who may not know?
Yeah, no, great question. We are a national snow and ice management provider.
And you also provide janitorial and
We do
variety of...
janitorial, landscaping, parking lot sweeping, so exterior and interior facilities maintenance.
Cool. And Dave runs the entrepreneurial journey podcast.
Yes, sir.
So you've got a lot of cool things going on. We met at SIMA in Milwaukee, at the symposium in Milwaukee.
right.
You introduced me. You've got to connect with Dave on LinkedIn because he's always posting interesting things. And we ran the other day. You
Yes,
kind
we
of
did.
helped organize the SIMAthon. What was that?
That's right. Josh Gamez and I got together and created the first annual SIMAthon, and that was where any member of the association gets together, run if there's differences, issues, different types of business models. Let's come together as one. Let's do a quick run. Let's have some, community, build some relationship, and just get to know one another. So that's what the SIMAthon was all about. Some of us ran really fast, some of us jogged, and some of us walked. And the mission at the end was leave no man behind, and we kept that philosophy here in SIMA, the Snow and Ice Management Association.
Yeah, I love it. It was a fun run. It was early. It was 6 a.m.
6 a.m.,
And
yeah.
I hope to do it again.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to do it next year.
I think there should be a SIMAthon every year.
I think so. And I've heard rumors that Martin Tirado, CEO of SIMA, wants to turn it into a 5K.
Well, that's good because I didn't know that some people were doing 2 laps. I did 1 and it was almost a 5K. It was more of like a 3K.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
How fast did you get that first one done in?
I think 19 minutes.
19 minutes. So you were hitting, what is that?
Just a nine and a half.
minute
Yeah.
mile.
Yeah.
You're a good runner.
I usually sprint and I sprint twice a week, and I hike and I ruck.
Okay.
So doing just a straight run like that this is a challenge.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was good. It felt good, but yeah.
The thing that I really felt about it was, and this is what I think about business is, I got out there and started running, and I've been training for a marathon for like 3 or 4 months. And the toughest thing was, I feel like I've been working really hard. I feel like I've been training and getting better at running, and I did a 12-mile run a couple of weeks ago.
I saw you post about that.
Yeah.
That was inspiring, by the way. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And when I got out there on the run, everybody blew by me. And I was the last group of running people, besides the walkers. And it felt really discouraging, inside. But just my own mental talk was like, man, you've been training so hard. Why do you suck at this? Why can you not run any faster? I was running as hard as I could. And it was a good reminder that in business, we don't need to compare ourselves to everybody else out there. Just focus on your mission. Focus on where you're at, because my beginning is not where your middle or end is. And I had to really keep that in focus, and that was a good reminder of me. Wait a minute, Dave, you've come a long way. Your miles were 22-minute miles when you started. You're a 300-pound plus dude. You can accomplish this. Just because they are faster, they're in a better and different place. And so that really resonated with me. And as I think of snow contractors or landscapers, it's easier to look at your competition and say, man, they've got everything. They've got it all figured out. But they're at a different place in business. And I think remembering that is really powerful.
Yeah, I love it. So how long have you been running? So you mentioned
Just
you're
3 months.
That's incredible.
That's
and you ran 12 miles the other day?
I did. I got the Nike app. So here's a plug for the Nike app. But I turn it on and I run. And I'll tell you what, man, it's sometimes when I get back from a run, This is a true story. The long runs are on Saturday morning, and when I get back, sometimes I can't move the rest of the afternoon. And sometimes Sunday comes and I can't get off the couch. But I don't quit. I keep going. And it's like that in business too. When we have a hard time or we have a loss or we lose a client or a key employee, sometimes we just want to quit. But we got to rest up and keep going. And that's a message that I just love to share, is that, don't quit. You can do it. And that's kind of what I take from marathon running.
I love it. One of the I agree. Yeah, it is hard. And what the other thing about fitness and business that I found is you just started running a few months ago.
Yeah.
You're going to keep getting better and better and better,
Yeah.
and then like you might keep getting better and better and better for years, like 4 years in a row, and then you hit a plateau and then you go down.
Yeah.
Might happen. I don't know. I've had that in my fitness. I've had that in my business, where I'm like, wow, I'm actually not as fit as I was 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. Or you're never done building your business or building your health, right? It's kind of this ongoing.
It's true. With your health, I feel like if you don't prioritize your own body, if you don't prioritize your own health and your own growth, you're never going to be able to take care of your business the way that you want to. If you're not sleeping good at night, maybe you're a little more cranky with your team members. Your own personal health is important. And I've got this goal and this mission. I want to live to a healthy 120. Not 120 slumped over, drooling, can't walk. Like, I want to live a healthy, active 120 years old. And so I'm working on it. I'm running. I'm dropping weight. I'm getting fit. And hopefully I can get a mile like you, man, because that's inspirational. 9.5 minute mile. I mean, I could only dream of that today.
Oh, I believe you can do it. And I was working really hard to get 9.5 minute mile, and I was not the first person to finish, right? So I was feeling like you were feeling.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, these guys are killing me. Because I started out at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
And then in the last, I don't know, half mile or so, like, it was really, well, part of it, I was watching my heart rate. I go elk hunting. That's kind of my favorite thing. I go elk hunting, and I was hunting with I'll just call him my cousin-in-law. I think he's my wife's cousin.
Okay.
Is that a cousin-in-law?
You can call it that, because I am horrible with those.
Okay, I don't know. I really enjoy this person. And we were hiking, and we were like looking at our stats on our watch and stuff, and my heart rate was well over 150. And he's like, hey man, you need to be careful. And I'm like, oh, why? He's like, well, you don't want to keep your heart rate above that level in that zone, because you can have a heart attack, or it puts a lot of stress on your system.
Okay.
So when I'm working out, I'm working to get into, so there's zone 2.
Okay.
And that's in the blue for me, and then there's the aerobic zone after that, and that's like the sweet spot. But if you get beyond that, it can be dangerous.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I hope I'm sharing. I actually haven't talked to anyone about this, so I hope I'm explaining it decently. I'm sure there's somebody listening who's like, dude, you got it all wrong, but that's what I think.
There's always one of those. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Fact checkers.
So when we were running, though, I was just seeing myself getting past the aerobic zone for me into that kind of red
you
danger
peeled
zone.
it back a little bit.
Yeah, so I peeled it back a little bit, while some of the other guys, there were like 8 of them, finished ahead of me. So I was feeling like, oh, I have so much more to go.
Well, you know what, man? You did a great job.
Well, thank you. You did too.
One man's ceiling is another man's floor, I guess.
Yeah, and it is interesting when you come to these shows and you're seeing people and you're talking about your revenue and your number of vehicles and whatever. And I don't know, in some ways it is helpful to like see somebody else that is performing better than you, or is doing a higher level of revenue or whatever, to see what's possible.
Yeah.
But also not getting too hung up on comparing yourself to them. And you also never know the full story of like what isn't going well in their life.
I agree. And I think one of the great things about these shows is meeting experts like you, right? Like, you're an expert in a field. And I think so often as an entrepreneur, we try to figure it out on our own, or we think we can do it cheaper. But a lot of times, if we can partner with, a company like Ramblin' Jackson, or a company like Western, or a company like, Frost Cameras, or whatever it might be, you're able to like learn from those people and they help you level up, and they help you take your business to a new level, because at this show, like, we're experts in plowing snow. That doesn't make me an expert in marketing. That doesn't make me an expert in sales. I'm good at my craft, and a lot of times supplementing and bringing in somebody to help guide me through those waters is what helps me take my business to the next level. And I think when you look at the most successful entrepreneurs, they surround themselves with the very best people. And I think that's one of the key takeaways is, like, can I work with a Ramblin' Jackson? Can I work with a Western? Can I work with them? Are they going to help elevate me and take me where I need to go? Like, you shared something with me last night, just, hey, think of each city as a branch. And off of that branch, we're going to have other little branches, and that's going to help us grow our business. And I was like, oh, what an amazing idea. I hadn't thought of that. I've been doing this over 20 years. But I thought, okay, that's a really good tip. And I think those things help us to take our businesses to the next level. And that's what I love about the community, the association. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I love the community and the association. And this association in particular is an incredible one. So Dave, we had planned to, that was awesome, connecting with you about fitness and I'm glad the Tree of Good Fortune idea resonated with you.
Oh, it's awesome.
And we were talking, you've got your podcast.
Yep.
We're going to put a link to that in our show notes.
Thank you.
You've got Transblue.
Yes.
You have a nonprofit.
I do.
And you have this honey business. So tell us about Honey for Hope.
I'm a green thumb at heart. I love landscaping. I love flowers. I love trees. I love green grass. I love all of that. And without bees, without pollination, those things don't grow. And for example, if I was to pollinate a blueberry farm and I were to put my bees on that, they're going to get 8 times the production versus having no bees, right? So that's a huge win. So what we do at Honey for Hope is we take our bees all over the Pacific Northwest and we pollinate blueberries, pumpkins, apple orchards, almonds, all sorts of things like that. Those things generate a profit. And while they're doing that, the bees are creating honey. And each hive produces at minimum about 50 pounds of honey. And what we do is we harvest that honey in August, September, and then we take it, we sell it, and then what we do is we give the profit to charity. And that's the big thing, because life is hard. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, you know it's tough, and people need a helping hand, right? Like, I was a kid growing up, we didn't have enough money for Christmas presents one year, and my mom had to go to the food bank, and somebody had donated toys, right? And so my mom was able to get secondhand toys, wrap them. And some people say that's sad, but to a kid who grew up with nothing, it's amazing because we actually got to unwrap something. And so for the mission of Honey for Hope is to take that profit and give it to amazing charitable causes, most of them Christian in nature because I'm a Christian guy, and giving those back to community to help people who need a helping hand. And that's what Honey for Hope is. That's what the business is all about. And I believe in sharing and giving and helping.
Love it.
Thank you.
So what charities do you end up donating to? Does it change, or how do you decide who you're going to help?
That's a great question. So our nonprofit, Enbridge, enbridge.global, you can check it out, vets out about 15 different charities. And so some of them are like Big Winds Camp in Montana. And one of the things we did there was we donated all of the firewood to 5,000 Native American families. We spent many, many thousands of dollars getting firewood and delivering it. If they don't have that firewood, they don't have the money in the winter to buy the firewood, people freeze, they can die. We support Dawson Place, which helps and supports 1,125 sexually abused children every year. We support Next Steps Pregnancy Clinic, which provides free formula, free diapers, and free medical care to any woman who's pregnant and needs help. These are some of the organizations. New Heart Foundation, which provides Christ-centered recovery for men and women with life-controlling substance abuse issues. We all know somebody who's suffered from alcoholism, drug addiction. So these are big things that we support, and that's how we run that. And Enbridge's entire job is to vet those out and make sure that they're a good organization making a big impact in a local community.
Love it.
Thank you.
Well, Dave, you're doing a lot of incredible things. One of the other things I'm just curious about was you said we bring the bees to all these places. What does that mean? Like how do you actually do that? And then do you bring them back, or do they stay there? Or like, I haven't worked with bees before, so can you help me, like at a
So,
very basic level, like how does
very
that
basic.
work?
So each pollination contract is for about 1 month. So what we do is we got a big F550 pickup truck and we got a big trailer. And what we do is with a forklift at night when the bees are sleeping, in our bee suits, we get in the tractors and we load the beehives onto the trailer. And then what we do is we strap them down with big 4-inch straps, and then we put a big net over top of them. And when we do that, that ensures that when they're traveling, the bees can't fly out and escape.
Do you personally do this?
No.
Have you ever done it?
I've definitely gotten the hives. I have a bee suit. I look crazy in a bee suit.
I'm thinking you and I need to go do this together.
Absolutely.
We should wear bee suits and go do this. I think this sounds amazing. What do you think?
You will have a blast. You will have a blast.
I will, and I'm also kind of terrified of all these bees, so it would be a good thing to just go do and put on the bee suit. And
I'll tell you, the very first time that you put the bee suit on and you have 1,000 bees, because each hive has about 60,000 bees in it, and you have 1,000 bees around your head, the only thing you want to do is start smacking. But you know they can't get to you because you've got the bee suit on, but it is the most eerie, creepy feeling, and it takes a while to get used to hearing that buzz the first time you're in a bee suit.
Cool. Well, Dave, I really appreciate you coming on the Landscaper's Guide. We could keep talking about a number of things, but I know you've got some other cool things to do at the symposium. For folks listening, where can we connect with you, and tell us again about the name of your podcast?
Yeah, the best place to connect with me is on LinkedIn. Just search Dave Wescott. And my podcast is The Entrepreneurial Journey. Check it out. It's on LinkedIn Live. It's on the major download channels. Check it out. And thanks for having me on the show. And definitely check out Ramblin' Jackson. They're awesome people.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Hey, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly updates to help you grow your snow and landscape company. My name's Jack Jostes, and click the link at the end of this video for the next one.